Sebak Mani Paduseo.
Or Korean for Happy Lunar New Year.
Or actually, that's just Happy New Year, or I wish you good blessings on the year.
Something along those lines.
But that's the greeting that they use for New Year. And it is Seollal, which is the Lunar New Year.
Or as a lot of people know it in the States, Chinese New Year. It is the first day of the lunar calendar. Americans generally go on the solar calendar, which is called Xinjiang, or obviously the solar calendar, which is January 1st. The first day of the lunar calendar is January 25th.
That changes regularly, though.
Well, that's what it is this year.
Yeah, that's this year's date. So sometimes it falls at the end of January, the beginning of February, between those.
We're sure there's some official rule on what day it's supposed to be, but we're Americans.
And 2020 is the year of the rat.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Either that or there's a whole lot of people that need some pest extermination.
No, it's the year of the rat.
You sure that's what those little signs mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the cups at Starbucks. One of them was cute. It looked like a mouse, but it was apparently a rat.
So, anyway, Seollal in Korea is a
3-day holiday.
3-day holiday, which occasionally has a couple bumper days on either side, depending on who you're talking to. There's a little bit of preparation required for most of the, what would you call it, home events, home rites?
And they do ancestral rites. They go back and so it kind of changes over the years, but originally, from what I'm understanding from some of the classes that I've taken, is it used to be that they would go back and they would visit with the in-laws and the family. They'd see like grandmas, grandpas. It's basically a time where the entire huge Korean family gets together and they have to pay honor and respect to their ancestors at that time.
So there is a whole lot of that. You know, everybody like gets together and goes to somebody's
specific bowing that you
house.
have to do.
Yeah, so you've probably seen something similar in a movie or something where they get out the pictures of the ancestors, and usually there's like some sort of fruits and stuff that they stack up in a little thing, and everybody gets together and they bow to the ancestors. And I've seen it before. My ex was Korean. Mostly the parts we're going to go over is people tend to wear hanbok, the traditional outfits for the ancestral rites and all that. So we dressed up the little doggies
in their hanbok. Well, actually, this is one of their hanbok sets. They have two.
Yeah, okay.
Because they're fancy.
Mei here has the pink on because she's the girly girl, and Suki Sue over here has the dark pink on because she likes purple, and that's the closest color to it. And Minnie Moo has the red on because red is the
power color.
The power color. She's the boss, so she wears the red.
Yes.
So, other than
Speaking of dinner, like it's traditional for on Seollal to have tteokguk, which is a rice cake soup, and to make jeon. Would you like to tell them what jeon is?
Jeon is most easily explained in American as a vegetable pancake. It's not exactly a pancake though, because pancakes are kind of bready and fluffy. This is very dense.
It's mostly vegetable with a little bit of like bready filler to it, I think, and it's not really even a bready. It's enough to just kind of make it stick together.
It's more like a floury solution.
It's a base. It's a base, is what it is.
Okay, so it's mainly a kind of floury base. It doesn't rise like a bread. It's more like a.
It's just to stick it together. Kind of yeah, it's to stick it all together.
Yeah, it's basically food glue. You know, then you do the most common one you'll find is pajang, which is green onion. Some people make it with shrimp or seafood in it. Some people
lots of things.
Some people put the pork, not galbi, bulgogi. I'm forgetting words. It's not a good day for me for some reason. I'm forgetting words. Korean bacon.
Samgyeopsal.
I couldn't remember the word. The American description of it reminded me of the word.
That's funny.
Duh. Anyway. But, you know, some places will chop up some yepsal and fry that and then put it in it. But anyway, those are some of the popular dishes. We've actually got some frozen jeon in the fridge. So we're going to cook that for dinner because we're going to have a cultural dinner.
You say that like we don't eat cultural dinner all the time.
Yeah, well.
We're going to cook our own cultural dinner, which at this point today is not going to be we made it ourselves. It's going to be, this is what we got in the freezer section that we can make, and it's pretty easy and it's delicious.
Actually, it is pretty good, yeah. Anyway, Speaking of the whole family getting together bit, although I'm a minute too late on that, that does cause some severe traffic issues in Korea.
Oh yeah, you can't get a train right now to save your life, and I wouldn't want to get on a subway
In fact,
or try to even drive anywhere right now.
You probably couldn't have bought a train ticket for this weekend for like the last 2 weeks or so, maybe a month.
As soon as they probably opened, they were immediately bought out, and I don't even know that foreigners can buy a train ticket during that time.
Also, people driving, there's
traffic congestion.
The traffic is bad. There's a lot of people driving. Parking, we've mentioned that parking is an issue in Korea in general. And right now, like the people who live in the apartment buildings across the street from us, there's 10, 15 cars parked literally in the middle of the intersection. There's like a 3-way intersection that comes together, which is bad enough usually in the first place. And now there's just people parked in the middle of it, so you made almost an involuntary roundabout going around the cars.
Oh, it's even more fun too, because you got the people who are just like, they give up, they don't care, they don't even want to search for parking, so they park in the middle of an actual road, like in the road.
They'll actually park in a lane. They'll just stop, put their flashers on, and get out.
So it used to be like a big thing too, that the families would do all the cooking and they'd stay at home and they'd have meals. But I know a couple of my friends, their families don't do the cooking anymore. They go out to eat.
Technology has progressed and people ain't got time for
that. So kind of like in the States where, it used to be, I guess, probably most everybody was closed on Christmas for Christmas Day, like food-wise. But in the States, more and more restaurants have decided to start staying open.
Yeah, these 3 days, it's fairly hard to find. We're near an area with a bunch of Americans, so there are some places that are open. But if you're away from the little international areas and you're in like Korea, then yeah, you may not be able to find anything to eat. You may be eating at the convenience store, which in Korea isn't a terrible thing, but
always a good idea, like during this time of year, to just double check like what's open, because the smaller businesses are always going to put a sign up like what days. Like we were going to go to a restaurant at lunch today, and it was closed yesterday and today, but will be back open tomorrow.
They still want to make money.
Yeah.
But they got to go, they got to go hang out with their family.
Yeah, they still got to meet the family and do the family thing, because it's the New Year and that's what they got to do. But Lunar New Year, it's a thing in Korea.
In fact, it's more of a thing than American New Year.
It's one of the biggest Korean actual holidays.
Yeah, you got Seollal, Chuseok, which is Korean Thanksgiving / Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
It's another ancestor worship holiday, so everybody gets together and they cook food and they're thankful, except for the people that had to cook all the food. They're just kind of grumpy. And, then there's the whole, it's not as big as it used to be, but there used to actually be like parties with your pictures of your ancestors where they'd sit around and they'd drink with them all night. It's a bit odd, but,
Probably some of the older people still do that. We'll see you in a few when we get to cooking.
Right. We'll cook our John and our little galbi.
Yeah, our galbi
mini
meat.
Steaks or whatever you call them. And
I don't know. We might have some mandu or something else in there. We'll have to see what we've got in there.
We'll have to see what we got in the freezer.
We've got some Korean stuff in the freezer, so we could Korean it today.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
All right, so we're back. We're about to cook up some dinner, or I guess technically heat up some dinner. So, like we said earlier, the traditional portion of our dinner will be the jeon, vegetable pancakes. So nice. This is in English, isn't it? This legit just has scallion, mushroom, carrot, onion, and leek.
And it's literally it's already cooked. All you have to do is warm it up. You could microwave it, but you throw it in the pan with a little bit of oil.
It actually recommends just the oven and the frying pan. I wouldn't recommend microwaving because it'd probably be mush.
It'd be a little rubbery, but throw it in the frying pan with a little oil. You get a little crisp on it. Good stuff.
It's good. About 3 minutes each side, and it's done. So that's easy. This is dakgolbi, or Korean chopped steak. We actually, the first time I think we ever had this was at the little Korean restaurant that we used to go to down in the Sed.
Yeah, Hungary Gobi.
And they took it off the menu, and I was like, but it was delicious. But we found it at E-Mart, so we picked that up. So you just literally just fry that up in the pan, just a couple minutes. And then, just because it's cold outside and hotak is amazing, we have frozen hotak that we're going to try, because we've had this and we haven't tried it yet. So we figure since we're frying up Korean foods, we might as well fry up some delicious dessert with that.
Sounds like a plan.
It's a plan. So here we go.
So in the tradition of breakfast for dinner, we're going to heat up the hotak first so that we can have some yummy noms while we cook other stuff.
Yes.
Well, sort of. We got the other one heating up there at the same time, so we probably need to...
Which one, veggie or...
Let's throw the veggie in first. This is how coordinated we are. We planned this out very well.
Well, I think you can only cook one of these at a time, too, right?
Yep.
And there's only 3 in a pack.
Yeah, there's only 3 in each one of those packs. And we've got our temperature set to medium, low. We're not trying to flash fry it. We just got to heat it through, add a little crisp to it.
I think it's about 3 minutes per side. While you're doing that, I'm just going to grab some plates.
Yes, because this is the thrilling part.
Because this is the thrilling part?
Yes. I'm going to spin it around a little bit, get the edges in that oil, get a little crispy. Everybody loves the crispies.
Look, we're using real plates. It's fancy now. Actually, y'all, it was very sad the other day. We ran out. This never has happened since we've been together. We ran out of paper plates. It was a tragedy in our household because we had to use real plates and I had to wash them. We will not let that happen again, will we, Chuck?
Yeah, probably not.
Because next time, who has to wash them?
Sookie Dog.
Sookie Dog doesn't know how to do dishes.
Shouldn't have thumbs either.
You'd have been better off saying Mayhem. She would at least try. That's popping, Chuck.
That was a bit splattery. So
rounds up pretty.
Yeah. We're going to try and not burn the house down here, so we'll be right back. So we're back with popping oil spray here.
Scoop, baby.
I'm on the last of the John that I'm cooking here. We finished up the hotuck, and we just added the first bit of our galbi to the pan here.
And it's popping like a mofo.
So obviously it was in the freezer. It's got ice on it. There's oil in the pan. You know, pop, 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 sizzle, sizzle. Try not to burn your toes. Try not to burn the toes!
Try not to burn the may-may. I'm
Try not to burn the may-may.
Screw my toes, man.
Anyway, so we will finish cooking this bit up and be right back.
Then we'll eat.
All right, so dinner is done. We have our hotuck. We've got our galbi, and we've got our John, which is nice and crispy. So, not exactly sure how much there is to show about this. Good hotuck?
We will be eating more of this for those times of the year that we really want hotuck and we can't find it anywhere else. I mean, it's not as good as the fresh. The fresh is, oh my God.
That is an experience. If you come to Korea, any time of the year, especially if it's cold though, if you have a tour guide, a friend, a distant relative, a sine wave from on high, find a place, a little street truck on the side of the road or a little tent that serves fresh hotuck. You know, they fry it on a little flat grill right in front of you. It is a thing. It is life-changing. So then you got the John, which I'm just going to tear a piece off here. A little crispy, little bits of green onion and carrot and all that goodness.
I'm still eating hotuck.
She's dripping hotuck all over the place.
I am.
Hotuck, by the way, is filled usually with some sort of honey or brown sugar and nut mix.
This one is honey and nuts.
So if you have a nut allergy, be careful. Other than that, go hog wild. It's good stuff. And it's usually something cheap, like 2 of them for 1,000 won, which is $1. Yeah, this stuff is crispy. You know, it was pre-frozen, so it's all warmed through and all the veggies are good, and it's good stuff. And then the meats.
They're over there going, is Melissa ever going to put that down? Yes, when I'm done with it.
I'm not even sure how to describe. It's kind of like the texture on the inside of a McNugget, but made with beef, and it's fried. Like pan fried, not fried chicken fried.
All right, say that again. The texture of a McNugget?
When you bite into it, the inside is sort of like the texture of the chicken on the inside of a McNugget. So it's soft. It's not as stringy as like a cube steak.
That's just true.
Or maybe like the inside of a hot dog or a sausage.
More like a sausage,
More like a sausage, maybe.
It has a really good flavor to it, too. It's a little bit sweet, but not like overly sweet. It's just really good.
Yeah. Hey, and if you're looking for a decent, quick, you know, relatively cheap dinner, you know, these...
This was really, really cheap.
They're 3 to 5 minutes on each side to cook. Actually, these are 3 to 5 minutes total. These are about 3 minutes on each side. I think a bag of these is what, 5,000-6,000 won? Maybe?
Maybe cheaper than that.
Maybe cheaper than that. Thing of the galbi is, that I want to say is a little more expensive. It's like 8,000 to 10,000 won. But there's 3 of those in a pack. There's 5 of those in a pack.
There's 5 of those in a pack.
I don't even remember what those cost. Those are probably...
Those were probably 3,000 or 4,000 They weren't very expensive.
If you go on the low end, maybe 8, 4 and 4, 6, 15, 16,000 won. That's about $15. And you've got veggies, you've got bread. Well, you definitely got bread with this. You got meat. Rock on.
So now here's
and we even have tangerines that we bought today.
Yeah, I know, that was a good deal. So the Dijon, I just kind of wanted to go back over again because we were talking about why they call it a pancake. And the reason why...
Well, you pour it onto a griddle and you fry it and it's round and it's kind of bready.
If you can see that. So the pancake mixture, because there is an actual flour mixture
There's a flour
of some
mix,
sort,
yeah.
is actually what holds all of the veg together. And it does a fabulous job, but it is like a crispy goodness of veg. Like, so good. It's worthy.
It's worthy. It's cheap. It's quick. Good stuff. Now, to wash it all down, we have some Korean drinks. This is Chilsung Cider, or Chilsung Cider, which is kind of a Sprite-ish.
It's a Sprite ginger ale mix-ish.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
Mine is a little more special. I've got something called Milkus. There is a drink in Korea called yogurt, which is not yogurt like Yoplait or Greek yogurt. It's a, what would you even call that? It's kind of like a tangy, loose yogurt drink. If you like filtered all the thick part out of yogurt and just kept the watery part, that's kind of what it tastes like. Which I know is an odd thought to wrap your brain around.
It's good.
But then you take that and then you mix it with something like cider or something and you get Milkus.
He loves Milkus.
I'm an oddball. I actually like this stuff. I like the yogurt drink as well.
There's another one called Umbasa that you like too.
I like Umbasa a little bit better, but Milkus is all right.
Umbasa can be harder to find in the can.
Yeah. I gave this to my dad once, though, in the States. I got it from one of the Korean stores. Didn't tell him what it was before he went to drink it. You'd have thought he licked a pile of cow poop or something. It was look on his face was hilarious. This was one of those looks like when you hand somebody a cookie and they think it's chocolate chip and they bite it and it's like oatmeal raisin and their brain locks up.
So it wasn't like the time that you had me drink, was it scotch and eat Cheetos at the same time? Because you told me it was so good.
Oh God, that was hilarious. I told her to eat a couple handfuls of Cheetos and take a shot of scotch behind it. And she, stupidly enough, actually listened to me.
Thank you. He just called me stupid. This is for all the world to hear. You just called me stupid.
Hey, anybody listening to me giving advice, that's, in case anybody was wondering though, scotch turns Cheeto dust into like just napalm.
It's napalm.
It's hilarious.
It is.
Give it a try. I dare you. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Or
at least don't blame me for it, because
if you do, tell us about it.
That would be funny. Anyway, we're going to finish our dinner.
As if I've stopped eating.
Yeah, really. And let y'all get on about your way, so...
Oh, bebulo. Oh, bebulo.
So somehow, even using pre-portioned bags of food, we still somehow managed to cook too much.
It's okay. We'll just stick it in the fridge and it'll be leftovers.
Leftovers.
I mean, that looks like breakfast. That could be breakfast, like meat.
I will take one of those and put it between two of those and tell McGriddle to eat mine.
Oh God, he would. He so would. I guess that means I get one of those with that for breakfast.
There you go. Or maybe I could cut one of those in half and put it on either side of a...
We might have to video that. That would be hilarious. He really probably won't do that, but he would. This man would make a soup sandwich. Like he's done that.
I've made a soup sandwich.
His dad is like, heck do you make a soup sandwich? You've made a soup sandwich.
I broke his reality. He didn't know it was possible to make a soup sandwich.
Now the face he made on that one though.
That was...
you killed his soul.
That was sheer, like, awestruck, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, your poor dad. Like that day, I think you broke him. All right, so now... We're probably...
Now we're out.
Now we're out. I'm going to package this up and put this in the fridge for us to have for leftovers tomorrow because I don't think either of us wants to look at food for a while.
Yeah, probably not.
It was really good, though. Okay, Happy New Year.
Like, subscribe, do the internet things. See you around.